Oh yeah.
It's the reason why sometimes 2 + 2 can equal 5.
In a quantum sense, yeah.
Yes.
So here's a cool picture. One easy way to see the Fibonacci sequence is more recognizable within nature because you do get some like more solid representations of it, such as your ear, such as your fingerprint. Like, look at your fingerprint, right? Like galaxy spiral in it right there. So, and here's like an image of like subatomic particles just doing what they do. Like subatomic particles on, again, the micro scale, like follow like this fractal / Fibonacci sequence of spiraling outwards.
The magnetic shards with the magnets, they always seem to do the same.
And here's a cool thing, some crop circles that have been using Fibonacci sequence. So
those are some really good students.
Yes, yes. With only a plank of wood and some rope, yeah. All right, so
supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Okay.
Well, you should. I love the one about the message.
Okay, I want Matt. Can you pick a topic for me?
Pick a topic?
Yeah.
Based on these topics that you can see here.
Let's see. I like DMT.
DMT?
Or no, dimensions.
Dimensions.
I want to try DMT.
We'll get to DMT. So, and first we'll talk about dimensions.
Drugs.
All right, so who wants to take the first?
Let's stay sober.
Who wants to take the first crack at explaining how dimensions sort of, using words?
I think Jeff had a good
point
definition. Yes.
Okay. So if we're gonna look at it from before even the point, that's like light or dark, right? So there's a duality before the point. Okay.
Talk a bit louder.
But the point itself is the first dimension, let's say. So it's the first way that we can see it.
So
your existence
is
like what is this? So the second way of trying to define that would be like measuring between 2 points. So it would be like the distance between. So some of us might look at that as time, or some of us might look at that as change. So in the same sense of the second dimension, we might feel like time is speeding up, but we could also look at it as just change is happening more often.
Okay.
Right? We can also look at it
frequency.
As measuring the air versus the water.
So here's
so the water would have like a second dimension to it where you can measure its width compared to just like that one point of feeling it. The third one could be like the earth where there's like matter involved into it, right? The fourth one could be like your desire, what you feel.
The fourth would be time, right?
Well, in the sense it's time.
The fourth would make it linear, right? Like we exist in 3 dimensions, and the fourth dimension we exist through time as we see it, and the fifth we're beyond that. You know what I mean?
So let's think
maybe scientifically.
Not to say like what you guys are saying is incorrect, because it is correct, but let's take dimensions in a little bit of a different way. Let's propose that our physical bodies, like, it doesn't end there. It goes beyond that, right? Our energies, our emotions, our thoughts, our fractals, our tendrils extend beyond what we can perceptionally see right now. So in the same way that we have different colors and wavelengths, right? Like that's kind of how we have like different dimensional properties. So, sorry, Jeff, if you want to.
I like what you have. Just because in showing, if we looked at this as say us being on a lower dimension, as in a smaller, closer together vibration. Okay, if that were to jump to a higher vibration, and we were still looking at a low vibration to see, where we were going, we would totally miss it because all of a sudden it jumps up way higher than what we thought it would. Right? So if we were to exist on another dimension, we would never be able to see ourselves because we're still looking at what we are rather than what we could be. The idea of it.
Another way to look at the existence of reality is if you look at the wavelength itself. The closer the wavelength, the more they intersect, and it's at that intersection, like the DNA strand, which is a series of waves. That's where reality connects. The farther away they get, the less reality as we determine it is. So, for example, sound and electricity; those are different wavelengths, and the energy that comes from the sun is a different wavelength. We don't perceive that as physical, but it's no less real. But the more it gets closer together, is when it becomes something that we consider physical.
Closer to our dimension.
The human body.
Physical.
So, okay, Matt, explain to me what you see in this picture here. What does this picture say to you? In a dimensional sense.
Oh shit, eh? Well, it shows a person on many.
So just talk to the mic.
Oh yeah. I don't know. What I see here. Yeah, just showing like a person reacting on many different levels, right? Existing, not reacting. We're existing on many different levels through all these dimensions, right?
It's whether or not you're conscious.
Which,
No.
by the way, the multi-dimensional theory is still has not been disproved. We're still finding much evidence to prove the fact that we live on a multi-dimensional universe. Mm-hmm. So there are opportunities and existences where a choice you may have made long ago may have been that splitting off point. And so, for example, you split up with a loved one. Well, that loved one and you may still be together in another existence. So why feel so sorry? Embrace the existence that you have as an experience that you can share.
Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting thing that I've always.
In the end is what we have to share.
Sure, yeah.
Because if we just hold that to ourselves and it's like, why are we here? And if we're not going to take what other people have of what they've experienced, then we don't even know what the hell we have experienced.
Yeah,
right? It's a way to reflect off each other to understand that, what we have is all fucking crazy. That instead of us each thinking that we are crazy, right? This where we are is crazy. So let's figure out this craziness together rather than call each other crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea, right? That like all we can really do standing here and talking is share experiences. But exchange energy. So if I've had my own experiences and things are happening, and you have your own experiences and things are happening as a result of that, then let's compare ideas because maybe we might be onto something.
Exactly. Like you say, that could be like the root of humanity. Like we're storytellers. Right?
Can I interject for a second?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Let's consider where we all are in our lives. I'm obviously running for political office. Matt is an aspiring artist.
Leaving town soon.
That's right.
Exactly.
I'm just flowing.
And Jeff,
I don't know.
Jeff is simply experiencing. So we're all on different avenues of existence and interjections in our life.
He has ideas, man.
Well, actually, one of my ideas is, and it's even in the shirt that I wear, and just like you pointed out, is that we capitalize ourselves, even in our writing. When we write, we capitalize the letter I, and that's the idea of ownership. Right? It's saying I own this human being, or I own this idea of what I'm talking about because I have this. It's mine. Right? Mine. But really, if we capitalize ideas instead of I, so let's say the idea of people instead of myself, right? I'm looking more towards the idea of all of us all the time instead of just myself.
But
so I could be like feeling everybody else instead of thinking about myself.
To bring it back to the point of dimensions.
The emphasis off the I, but the emphasis somewhere else.
Exactly.
But you can also look at it as the emphasis on feeling instead of thinking.
To bring it back to the dimension talk, though, is that it's simply we are each at different dimensions of a life. Not necessarily a single life, but of a life. There's many different branches or dimensions of life. Which then, if you look at the fractal as well, we are variations of the one.
Yeah, we're all branches of the same tree. Like that's the easiest way I can put it.
You're all Jesus, by the way.
But
we're all Jesus,
experiencing two different dimensions.
Yeah.
So here's
it's all in you, so just come
picture.
through.
Well, it's whether or not you want to accept it for yourself, right? It's that you're all the one. It's just what is it that you want to change, or what is it that you want to do?
Just because of the beard?
Right? It's whether or not you want to do it, and what holds you back from doing it other than yourself.
Exactly.
What stops you from moving forward other than your own thoughts?
Ego.
Yeah, you can say
Then you
that.
go and let it flow. And like, the way I see it, like, even talking itself, we're like we're trying to get out of ourselves, you know what I mean? So why do we always have this I, right? We're not talking for ourselves. I'm talking to try to talk to you, whoever, right? I'm sharing. So why would I fucking talk for myself? I can think all I want, you know what I mean? That's myself. But I'm talking, it's for you. I'm sharing.
And by the way, fuck is only just an expression, and it means our most expressive language.
It goes into the talking is, in a sense, if we are each individual dimensions of the one, in a sense, then our talking is a way of sharing the experiences that we've experienced in this dimension of the one with the other dimension of the one. So what I'm experiencing, because we all come from the same source, is essentially, that's the fractal aspect, is we all come from the same source. We all come from one source that branches off from one. Yeah. We're all energy, exactly. And we're different wavelengths. We're different dimensions. We're different aspects. And it's how we communicate with each other. Some wavelengths connect negatively. and that's the source of a lot of the harm and evil in the world. And many times, more times than not, we interact in a positive aspect. We enhance the other dimensions. We enhance the other wavelengths of each other.
Saying his perspective is multidimensional.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's the idea that, you know, like there's us here, but our body like extends like multidimensionally. So like there's like higher dimensional consciousness of us who are like helping us move forward through our path. So we can tune into like there's a part of us who's already attached to where we are in the future in a good sense, and it says, look, if you follow your intuition, you're going to follow this path and you're going to end up where you need to be and you're going to get some sort of fulfilling experience of it. We can ignore that as much as we want, right? We can let the ego get in the way and we can just like go back to playing Xbox, right? Like it's up to us, but that's kind of the idea. If it was easy, everyone would be an ascended master by now. But the fact that it's a choice and the fact that it's difficult means that we have to work hard
back
to
to
get
that
it.
same question I posed earlier. You could also look at this dimensionally. What came first, chicken or egg?
Peter.
Rooster
Just kidding.
lays an egg on top.
Okay.
But
No,
because
he wasn't asking a question. He made a statement. What came first?
Think about it.
Chicken or
Then
egg?
Cohen.
Dude,
Then you're in.
someone
Think about
posted a quote on your, like a question for a sign on your website. It was, if we could all just accept that we are all in heaven, then we could,
Yeah, it's like if we accept that this is
so-
heaven, then we could
So
be
let-
Yeah, Ian.
Let him repeat the quote because obviously.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't finish your thing.
Because to me, it's not what came first, chicken or egg. It's the question of what came first.
Yeah, like it's
Why am I here? Right? Because without that question, we could not have the logical debate of saying it was the chicken or the egg.
yeah, like it's a Socratic method of approaching and evaluating. Peter, do you want to turn that? I'm just gonna wait if you're following that. Like a Socratic way of approaching a question is the idea that it's not so much the answer to the question, it's the process of answering the question that makes it
question
meaningful.
itself.
So that's kind of like this idea of, you know, like what came first, the chicken or the egg? The question, because it's not about what came first. The question is what's important, and it's within that self-reflection that you find the answers that you might be looking
It's
for.
very much Marshall McLuhan. The medium is the message.
Right,
The question is the answer.
It's that duality that we talked about before, like the two different branches within the tree that all came down to the same point, which was the question you were asking.
So, okay, continuing on with dimensions, this is a pretty cool picture that I think kind of like represents us in a non-dimensional sense fairly coolly. Matt, how are some ways that we can experience things in other dimensions?
In other dimensions, well, through your dreams. First off, that's like one thing you do like every night, right? So like, I don't know. Through your dreams, right? Do the chord. All right, yeah.
This is important. So.
It's important, yeah. Or just like meditation, like, or just take a breath in one day. Like if you're like, I don't know, vexed over something, just, you know, you're here right now, or be in the now, in the dimension of like the fifth dimension, your astral or whatever, astral projection, such and such. And there's probably more once you get awakened in that, right?
Yeah, like
You
that's.
know,
You can look at
it's a whole.
Okay,
thing.
Jeff, explain.
your thoughts in another dimension.
Yeah. They exist multidimensionally. Yeah.
Oh,
that's for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then it's just like how many branches down do you want to go, right?
Yeah.
Because your feeling is a dimension as well.
Your other people's perspectives, not just your own, would be amazing. Like,
To see,
Yeah, to like
exactly.
collectively experience things as like a group or something.
I'd be like clairvoyant.
To see the
But
feeling.
yeah, that's where we're getting towards, right? Like,
Remember,
more empathetic.
remember, this is all the translation of the feeling you get. Okay, so imagine you could feel the way other people feel. Imagine if everybody could sit there and instead of coming up with thoughts, they could come up with emotions. So you could actually feel love, or you could change it to sadness, or you could change it to anything. I could communicate to you on another level then.
Yeah, I
This
pick
is
up what you
where,
throw down.
even like
The meaning means more than the words I say.
This is where the medium of music, art, and
On a subway
expression
to
movies. That is the way of experiencing through other people's eyes the world.
Yeah.
You know, you read a book by somebody like Anne Frank, for example. It's one thing to look at the facts of what happened to her, but then when you read her actual story, it puts it into her perspective.
Yeah.
And it changes the way you look at those facts. And that's where movies and that's where things, and we are getting to that point where we will eventually be able to, through technology, we'll be able to download each other's dreams.
Like
Yeah.
uploaded collective conscious
Exactly.
memories.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
Be like
there's definitely room for,
iTunes.
Yeah. Well,
like a collective I too.
I like
Yeah.
what he just said there.